All right, so over here it says in the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 13, it says something like this: For if you, he's speaking to somebody who's alive in the flesh, okay? You understand what I'm saying? Not just a soul. You understand what I'm saying? For if you are living according to the flesh, or to the sarx, or whatever the case may be, you must die. You must die according to the flesh. If you live according to the flesh, you're going to die according to the flesh. That's basically what it's saying. A flesh, you must die. Now, wait for a second over here. And my favorite verse is actually the next verse, actually. It's my favorite verse, and not my favorite verse in the Bible completely, but it's in the top 10. I'll tell you that right now. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, so that's just the deal. Let me just read it again. I just had a problem with it. For if you are living according to the flesh, of my daughter in the background, and the vein, she's a special child, you must die. But if by the Spirit you are putting to death the deeds of the body. See, he's in the body, she's in the body. You understand what I'm saying? The church, the kirk, you will live in the body. In other words, end quote, by the way, in the body. Okay, if you live according to the flesh, you shall die. If you live according to the Spirit, you shall live, says another translation, probably the King James. Okay, you understand? This is perfect to shed light on Ezekiel chapter 18, verse 4, and the rest of the verses that go before and that follow after. Because the Watchtower and Bible Tract Society doesn't believe that the soul goes on, but who cares? Who cares what they believe? I don't care what they believe. They've been wrong ever since. They were born. You understand what I'm saying? Magic wheat and corn, Great Pyramid, Egypt is on par with the Bible. Millions now living will never die, and they're all dead. You understand what I'm saying? I just saying. Beth Sherem, the dates of Christ, supposed dates of Christ's return, whatever the case may be. You understand what I'm saying? They've been wrong every stinking time. Nobody was going to go to the moon. Nobody was going to break the envelope of the atmosphere, whatever the case may be. And everybody did. Even Captain Kirk. William Shatner went to space. I mean, he held the record for a couple of years as the oldest man to go to space until somebody broke it. Recently, he was older. Come on, man. Can't fool me. You understand what I'm saying? You can't fool people that are in the Bible. Now, verse 13 says something like this. For if you... Okay, he's talking to Christian people. He's talking to the Church of Rome. Not a whole bunch of souls just, flying all over the place. You understand what I'm saying? In heaven or whatever the case might be. You understand what I'm saying? For, if probably gar, and if it's an or a, whatever the case may be, you is probably in the plural. For if you are living according to the flesh, you must die. You must die. Where? According to the flesh, in the flesh. You must die. Well, I mean, they're living according to the flesh, so they're in the flesh. So if they die, what does James say? Oh, come on. I'm just saying. That's just the deal. Let's go to the book of James. You understand what I'm saying? Let's just go. Okay. That's just the deal. So let's go to chapter 2 and verse, let me see over here if I could, I'm having a problem here, please stand by. Verse 26, let's read it. Let's read it, though. I'm just saying, let's read the Bible, not the pamphlets, not the magazines, not the dollar. Let's read the Bible because your life depends on this. Your family's life depends on this. Your co-workers, your friends. You know what I'm saying? It says over here in verse 26, for, okay, just as a soul without the Spirit is dead. Does it say that? Does it say it? For just as the body, just as the body without the Spirit is dead, so also faith without works is dead. End quote. Look what it says. It's just a teaching. It says, verse 26, it says, for just as the body, the body without the Spirit is dead. It's not the other way around. Don't put the cop in front of the horse. You see what I'm saying? That's just a deal. As my baby laughs over here out of the vein. Right, my love? Well, look what it says. This is a corpse, okay? You understand what I'm saying? It's clinically, physically, tangibly dead. You understand what I mean? That's what's the deal. It says, for just as the body, Greek or soma, no doubt, just as the body without the spirit is dead. The body without the spirit is dead. So the body, the soul and the spirit makes an exodus. It vacates the tent, the body, the tabernacle. You understand what I'm saying? And at that point, and at that juncture, the body dies. It's clinically and physically and tangibly and fleshly dead. That's what the deal. That's just all there is to it. Can't you understand? I'm just saying. I mean, can't you understand this teaching? Let me read it again. It's quite clear. It says, for just as the body without the spirit is dead. The body is dead. Not the soul. Not the spirit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, but I mean, but the spirit goes to the same place. It goes to the dust. No, it doesn't, you punk. That's just not there. Why am I being so hard and cruel, okay, against the witnesses? Well, I mean, they lead many people astray, and many people go to hell. 2 L's, by the way. You know what I'm saying? That's just the deal. Let's go to the Old Testament. Let's go to the Old Testament. Let's go. Let's go to the Old Testament and see where that spirit goes. You know what I'm saying? That's just the deal. Look at the Bible. Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, right here. Ecclesiastes, okay, chapter 12. That's the deal. Oh, but Angelo, you forgot verse 10 of chapter 9 of the same book. Not in. Okay. Book sounds like Hebrew almost. Book. Okay. Not in. It's just there's no activity. It's just there's no more work. I'll give you a perfect example. Come on, you think that Donald Trump, okay? You think that he's going to be doing the same thing in hell? I'm not threatening him. I don't need to threaten him. I'm not threatening you. Punks over there, you know, looking at this video and stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? So worried about him. I'm not. Listen, I don't need to threaten him at all. I'm talking as a Christian person, and not only have people like that. Okay, he just was speaking to a billionaire. Okay, I don't think that Trump is a billionaire anymore, but he pretends to be. But you think that they're going to be doing the same thing? Going on little podcasts and taking the little limousines, putting on their suits and ties and lying about election fraud and doing this and doing that and the race card and the race issue and lying and scheming, and you think there's not gonna be no work. There's not gonna be any more planning. There's not going to be no more activity. It's the same thing. It's not going to be, okay, the same thing going on. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be butt naked without your cars, without your Secret Service, without anybody like that. You understand what I'm saying? And you could just be in front of God. And that doesn't only go for him. I'm just giving you a supreme example. I could have used Putin. I could have used the punk in Korea. I could have used the punk in China. I could have used the punk in whatever the case may be. Okay? These dictators that they're here today, gone tomorrow. You understand what I'm saying? Your Hitlers, your Mussolinis, your Caesars, your Herods. Come on, man. You understand what I'm saying? Assyrian Empire, the Roman Empire. I mean, it's all gone. So I'm just saying you can't do the same thing as you did before. You can't, though. You can't. That's my issue. That's my beef. Let's prove it. But let's prove where the soul goes. Okay? Does the soul go at the same place, to the same place that the body does? Well, according to this, it doesn't. It says over here, then the dust. You know what dust is? I mean, come on, man. Then the dust will return. To the earth, meaning your dust, my dust, the body, the dust. You understand? The polvo. You understand what I'm saying? To the earth, as it was. And the spirit will return to the dust. Does it say it? Does it say it? No, it doesn't. It doesn't say it. It doesn't say it. It doesn't. I'm just saying it doesn't. Don't tell me it does. It doesn't. Okay, will return to God. Elohim, who gave it. Doesn't even say who created it. Who gave it. The reason why the soul, okay, can't be annihilated because it comes from God. It wasn't even created. He gave the soul a little bit of himself to man. Adam. That's the Hebrew word. Adam. What's it saying? So it can't be annihilated. It can't. Listen, the dust. Man was created by God from the dust of the ground. For dust you are, and to dust you shall return. That's just the deal. Can't you get it at the tower? Can't you get that? I'm just saying. I'm talking to the tower, the watchtower, Bible Tract Society. I'm talking to them, those punks. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? It's just a deal. Where does the spirit go? Where does the spirit go? It was, and the spirit will return to God. It came from God, so it returns to God. The dust came from the earth, it returns to the earth. It talks about the soma returning to the earth. It talks about the sex returning to the earth. It talks about the basar, the Hebrew words for skin and flesh returning back to the earth. Eretz. You understand what I'm saying? Two different, completely locations. You understand what I'm saying? No. Somebody may which one and complain and say, well, how about Abel? I mean, his voice cried from the ground. Or was that the deal? Well, what's that? Well, I mean, from the ground, that's talking about Sheol. That's talking about the abode of the dead. That's talking about the Greek word kardia. That's talking about the heart of the earth. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? Matthew chapter 12, verse 40. You understand what I'm saying? The heart of the earth. If you don't like that, we'll go to Ephesians chapter 4, verse 9, where you have, okay, katotera, the lower parts. Okay, the lower regions, okay, mere, with an eta, you understand what I'm saying? Of the earth, the lower parts, the regions, the lower dwellings, if you will, of the earth, the center of the earth, the center of the globe. That's what it's talking about. That's where Abel was. He was in the abode of the dead. That's where Christ went to preach, and that's why I say that his soul wasn't annihilated or destroyed because he was busy preaching in Sheol. That's just a deal. It was that. Recorded. Ekeruksin, I always famously say, Ekeruksin is a construction there. It's an AIA, Aorist Active Construction. Okay, you witnesses, what's the augment there? Do you know? I'll give you 2 seconds. The augment, okay, is the epsilon before the kappa, before the stem. Okay, what's the aorist tense morpheme there? Come on. Come on, man. You can't what you want to complain about these things and you don't even know simple Greek. I'm talking about the basics of biblical Greek, man. I mean, this is first year Greek I'm talking about. I'm not talking about some elevated Greek that came by Homer or something like that. You understand? No. Okay, the kasi has the sigma contained in it, the sound of the sigma, you understand, which is the first letter, along with the epsilon, a third person singular, as the aorist tense of morpheme. Morpheme comes from morphe, which means shape of form. That's just the deal. Come on, know your stuff, man. I am sick and tired of the witnesses. I'm just saying, I'm sick of them. Sick and tired. It's just a deal. Sick and tired. Let's read this again. Then the dust will return, okay, to the earth. Will return to the earth as it was. As it was. It was dust. God used that dust, formed it into a man. You understand what Adam is the Hebrew? You understand what I'm saying? Anthropos is the Greek. Okay, over way back in Genesis chapter 2, it was, and the spirit goes to the same place, and the dust in the ground. That's just say it. And the spirit. Now I gotta check if that's soul or ruah, or if it's nefesh or ruah. You know what I'm saying? Will return unto God, Elohim, to who gave it to the body, who gave it to man, who gave it to the body, and man became a living soul. You understand what I'm saying? He became a living soul, meaning that body became a living soul. It became alive. Now that's just the deal. Look at the thing. It wasn't a living soul before. It was just a corpse. It was just a body, but it was made alive, meaning the flesh was made alive. It was made to live. As that soul dwelt in the body, it became clinically a living corpse or a living body. I mean, I guess that doesn't make any sense. The corpse is just, I mean, I don't know if it's tied up to death. You understand? Huh? Let's go. Now, let me see. I'm having a problem over here. Okay, let's go to, let me see here. Okay. Let me see. Let me see here. Okay, so that's the book there. Now, when you look at the word Exodus there, okay, Exodus, that's from the Greek, the second book of the Bible, Exodus. It's called Exodus. That means that means a journey. That means a trip. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? That's really recorded for people making, Jesus talking about the Exodus that he was going to make, and that's recorded in Luke's Gospel, I believe, in chapter 9. The Exodus that he was going to do. It's a journey, it's a trip. You understand what I'm saying? That's just a deal. That's really recorded also, and I believe in Hebrews chapter 11, Exodus for people, or person, or people dying, whatever the case may be. Now, let's go back to Ezekiel. You understand? Now, all right, I have to state the obvious. That Samuel, when he was disturbed, okay, by either God giving the permission to the witch of Endor, okay, to do that, or God just intervening himself, okay, because she didn't have the power. He was definitely alive.